जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे शून्यवादी पतंजलि सखा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौरभक्तवृंद। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा। श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह भगवान की, निताई गौर सुंदर की, पतित पावन शिला प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। We are studying from Granth Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4th. Canto 4th is entitled as the creation of the fourth order. Chapter number 2 is entitled as Daksha curses Lord Shiva. Today's text is text number 11 onwards. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. पतित पावन शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। ऐसा मे शिष्यस्तां प्राप्तो यन्मे दुहितु अग्रहीता। श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। निताई गौर सुंदर की जय। प्रहलाद नरसिंह भगवान की जय। पतित पावन शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। समस्त गौर भक्त बिंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे। ये समे शिष्यस्तां प्राप्तो जन्मे दुहितु अग्रहीता पानीं विप्राग्नि मुक्तः सावित्र्या इव साधुवत्। Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: He has already accepted himself as my subordinate by marrying my daughter in the presence of fire and brahmanas. He has married my daughter, who is equal to Gayatri, and has pretended to be just like an honest person. Purport: Daksha's statement that Lord Shiva pretended to be an honest person means that Shiva was dishonest, because in spite of accepting the position of Daksha's son-in-law, he was not respectful to Daksha. Gretva mriga sasvaksya panim markatalochana pratyuthana bhivadharahe vachapi akritanochitam. He has eyes like the monkeys, yet he has married my daughter, whose eyes are just like those of a deer cub. Nevertheless, he did not stand up to receive me, nor did he think it fit to welcome me with sweet words. Lupta kriyaya suchaye manine binna setave anichanna api adam balam shrudaya yevo satim giram. Translation. I had no desire to give my daughter to this person who has broken all rules of civility because of the observing the required rules and regulations she is impure. Because of not observing the required rules and regulations she is impure, but I was obliged to hand over my daughter to him, just as one teaches the message of the Vedas to a Sudra. Purport. A Sudra is forbidden to take lessons from the Vedas because the Sudra, due to his unclean habits, is not worthy to hear such instructions. This restrictions that unless one has acquired the Brahminical qualification, one should not read the Vedic literatures. It's like the restrictions that a law student should not enter a law college unless he has been graduated from all lower grades. According to the estimation of Daksha, Shiva was unclean in habits and not worthy to have the hands of his daughter. Sati, who was so enlightened, beautiful, and chaste. The word used in this connection is Vinna Setave, which refers to one who has broken all the regulations for good behavior by not following the Vedic principles. In other words, according to Daksha, the entire transactions of the marriage of his daughter with Shiva was not in order. प्रेतावशेषु घोरेषु प्रेतभूतगणैर्वृतः अत्य अतत्युन्मतवनग्नो युक्तकेशो हसन् चिताभस्मकृतस्नान प्रेतस्नन्दन् स्थिरभूषणः शिवापदेशो हासीवो मत्तो मत्तजनप्रियः पतिप्रमथनाथानां तमो मात्रात्मकात्मनम्. Translation. He lives in the filthy places like crematorium, and his companions are the ghosts and demons. Naked like the madman, sometimes laughing and sometimes crying, he smears crematorium ashes all over his body. He does not bathe regularly, and he ornaments his body with a garland of skulls and bones. Therefore, only in name is he Shiva, or auspicious. Actually, he is the most mad and inauspicious creature. Thus, he is very dear to crazy beings in the gross mode of ignorance, and he is their leader. Those who do not regularly bathe and supposed to be in association with ghosts and crazy creatures, Lord Shiva appeared to be like that. But his name Shiva is actually fitting, for he is very kind to person who is in darkness of mode of ignorance, such as unclean drunkards who do not regularly bathe. Lord Shiva is so kind that he gives shelter to such creatures and gradually elevate them to spiritual consciousness. Although it is very difficult to raise such creatures to spiritual understanding, Lord Shiva takes charge of them. And therefore, as stated in Vedas, Lord Shiva is all auspicious. Thus, by his association, even such fallen souls can be elevated. Sometimes it is seen that the great personalities meet with fallen souls, not for any personal interest, but for the benefit of those souls. In the creation of the Lord, there are different kinds of living creatures. Some of them are in the mode of goodness, some are in the mode of passion, and some are in the mode of ignorance. Lord Vishnu takes charge of persons who are advanced in Krishna conscious Vaishnavas, and Lord Brahma takes charge of persons who are very much attached to material activities. But Lord Shiva is so kind that he takes charge of persons who are in gross ignorance and whose behavior is lower than that of the animals. Therefore, Lord Shiva is especially called auspicious. So we are here seeing that how the Daksha is ruining his great fortune, being the son of Lord Brahma in such a responsible position at Prajapati. It's been so fortunate to be so close to Lord Shiva, who is Param Vaishnava, Vaishnava Nam Yatha Sabhu, the topmost of all the Vaishnavas, and he is offending him to the severest degree. It's offending him very badly. All the names he's calling. So, the out of anger, people lose control over themselves. Lord Shiva actually is very, very beautiful, very handsome. But you see, he's seeing her daughter's eyes is so beautiful. Of course, that is very beautiful. But he's not able to see the beautiful eyes of Lord Shiva. He's saying that his eyes are like monkeys. So this is out of envy. When person envies someone, his good qualities also turns bad too. Something is good, I cannot see that, so he will criticize him. Similarly, Dhritarashtra was also blind in love with his sons. There's so many so many wrong things they were doing, but he was not able to check them out of just affection. And here we see that Lord Daksha, out of envy, is not able to see the good qualities of Lord Shiva. Actually, whatever he is seeing in opposite way. He's seeing that Lord Shiva is associating with ghosts, pretas, bhutas, pichasas. But in fact, the Lord Shiva is glorified for this purpose. Therefore, he is called topmost Vaishnava. Vaishnavanam yathasa. Among the devotees, he is the best. Because this quality of being so compassionate, patita pavana, so compassionate, that the ghost, pisachas, nobody will go near to them. Even if they come nearby, people run away. But Lord Shiva is not only going near to them, but he is staying with them. Not only staying with them, he is just being like one of them, so that they will understand, oh, this is our man, it's our person. So they will start relating with him, and by his association, he will be able to purify. That's only motive for Lord Shiva. He's going all the way so much down that he is staying in crematorium and putting all the ashes around on his body. And if we go to Ujjain temple, Ujjain, there is a Kal Bhairav temple. There, Lord Shiva is there. And every day, the fresh ash will come. After burning one died person, the fresh ash will be there. That will be brought every day and will be applied to Lord Shiva. And then after this, it will be kept on the door. And people will apply to them their head as prasad. And whoever comes, actually, there is a big queue to get that prasadam. So you see that Daksha is criticizing this, but is being glorified. Lord Shiva is being glorified for that. But he is not able to see that real stuff out of envy, out of anger. Kam esa, krodh esa, rajogun sambhava. He's telling that Lord Shiva is in mode of ignorance, but he is the victim of mode of ignorance. Is not able to see the good qualities of Lord Shiva. Whole world is seeing the good qualities of Lord Shiva except Daksha. Lord Shiva is so much merciful. Say that Lord Shiva, his name he is called Shiva because he is the most auspicious person. Most auspicious person. There is prayers of Narottam Das Thakur. In this, he is saying that one becomes purified by taking bath in the Ganges. But Vaishnavas are so exalted just by seeing them once gets purified. So auspicious. Is saying that while touching the Ganges, only one becomes purified, but just by seeing the devotees, one is immediately becomes purified. So it's more and more auspicious than Ganges. Whoever goes near to the devotees, the sin runs away from them, from their body. So Lord Shiva is like this, very auspicious, most auspicious. Therefore, it's called Shiva. It's because the best of all the Vaishnavas. It's called Shiva. But here, see what Daksha is thinking that is most inauspicious, because he is not able to see the real stuff. He's seeing that he's staying in crematorium, putting ashes around, and then he is also not taking bath. He's not, following the regulative principles of cleanliness. So he is not following Suchi, so he's inauspicious. But the Lord Shiva is most auspicious. Being a pure Vaishnava, great devotee of the Lord, is very, very auspicious. And so much that he is himself, his name himself is said like Shiva, Lord Shiva. See that Daksha, only because Lord Shiva did not get up to to welcome him, he became so angry. Actually, he was keeping the grudge before itself. Lord Shiva is one of the three Murtis, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. And Daksha is one of the Prajapati. There are so many Prajapati, he is one of the Prajapati. So somehow or other he had this envy towards Lord Shiva. How come this person is Mahadev, all the the greatest of all the Devas, the leaders of all the Devas, is Mahadev. And this all respect which he is getting, actually, I supposed to get this. I want to get it. So somehow or other he developed this envious nature. And in fact, he was reluctant to give his daughter, but this Lord Brahma, his father, told him that you should hand over your most suitable person for your daughter. Sati is Lord Shiva. So because Lord Brahma said, he gave the daughter, Lord Sati, to Lord Shiva. So now, see, out of envy and anger, he is also not only criticizing Lord Shiva, he is also criticizing Lord Brahma also, his father. Is finding fault in everybody except himself, that what I am doing is wrong. This Vaishnava offense is very, very dangerous. We'll see that later how Daksha will fall down from his position because of this offense. It is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that Brahman Brahmite Kono Bhagavan Jeev Guru Krishna Kripa Paye Bhakti Lata Beach. Very, very fortunate soul. After traveling throughout the universe, from Brahma Loka down to Patala Loka, into 84 lakh species. In some species would have been born many, many times. So throughout our material existence, we are just moving from one place to another place, one planet to another place, one species to another species, simply wandering, just simply aimlessly wandering. And whichever life we go, we are suffering. Janma mityu jara vyadi dukkha dosanudarsana. All the body we'll take, we go through this suffering. Tritapa, adi devika, adi bhautika, adhyatmik klesa. Constantly one thinks, everyone. Right now also we are subjected to that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that But there are so many living entities. Like if we see from the window, sometimes sunshine. In the sunshine, we see there are so many sun particles are there. We can't count them. Countless. Countless means we cannot count. We can't keep any account. There are so many living entities. Infinite. But out of all those living entities, very few who are very fortunate, extremely fortunate. By mercy of Guru, they understand Krishna, and in this way, they receive seed of devotional service. Bhakti Lata Beach. Seed of devotional service, keeper of devotional service. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that, so person, after receiving this seed, very carefully, one should plant this and cultivate this by watering. What is watering? Shravanam Kirtanam. One should constantly hear the holy name of the Lord, constantly hear the glories and pastimes of the Lord. And after hearing, one should describe them to others. Shravanam Kirtanam, chanting and hearing. By this, we should water the seed. If we take the seed and just put inside the land, and if we don't water, what will happen? The plant will not come. The water is basic necessity. So even after taking initiation, and we are not sufficiently engaging ourselves in hearing and chanting, then our bhakti will not grow. We may be wondering, oh, I've taken initiation, what is happening to me? But we are not watering. So we have to water. We have to sufficiently hear and chant. Then we will see that slowly our bhakti lata will start, the seed will start sprouting. So when the seed is sprouting, when it is growing, taking the shape of a small plant, there will be sometimes goat will come or some other animals will come and it starts to, eat this plant. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that now be careful. Now you are already watering, you should save it by the attack of these animals, by making a fence around. So if we take a plant and make a fence around, then animal cannot do anything. It's protected. So similarly, one should protect this bhakti lata creeper which is just growing from the offenses. The offenses are compared with the attacks of animals. There are so many types of offenses are there. When we are doing devotional service, there are so many different types of offenses are there. When we are worshipping the deities, Sanatana Goswami has listed 32 principal offenses. In Nectar of Devotion, it is described. 32 principal offenses are there. One should avoid these offenses. Seva Aparadh. Then we chant the holy name of the Lord. There are offenses against the holy name of the Lord. We every day chanting that 10 offenses against the holy name of the Lord. And then, even we are serving the Lord, there is Dham Aparadh. Dham Aparadh, Nam Aparadh, Seva Aparadh, Vaishnava Aparadh. Among all these offenses, offending a devotee is the most severest type of offense. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that this offense is like a mad elephant. Mad elephant, even if you have put the boundary, if an elephant is coming, he will knock down the boundary and get inside. And when he goes inside any big gardens, they completely destroy the garden. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is warning that to be extremely careful to protect Bhakti Lata from this mad elephant offense. Should be very, very careful, because if it attacks the Bhakti Lata, it will uproot it from the root. It will take it out from the root, so much so that it will not grow again. This is so dangerous. So one should protect God himself from doing Vaishnava offense. Very extremely careful. We have just seen that how fortunate a person is to receive bhakti seed. And after receiving that, we should be very careful for watering. And after watering, when it has grown, we should be also very careful to protect it, especially from mad elephant offense, Vaishnava offense. And unfortunately, we are seeing that Daksha is just heading into this. In our life also, we see that we may not take it seriously, but it is extremely serious. If you want to get the fruit of Bhakti Lata, what is the fruit? Fruit is Krishna Prem. We want to taste this fruit of Krishna Prem, developing love for Krishna. We must be very careful not committing Vaishnava offense. Otherwise, we have done everything. In between, we will find that the whole thing is also is closed. So there are so many offenses. We should all carefully, we should avoid doing offenses. So here we see the Daksha. He's just saying what is coming inside his mouth. He's not thinking and what he's doing. And the consequences, we will see that Daksha will get the goat head. He will be so much embarrassed that actually he has to give up his life. We see that by this offense, Sati gives up her life, and Lord Shiva becomes very angry, and just to correct him, he will punish him, and he has to give up his life. But again, out of his compassion, Lord Shiva will give him a goat head. And just because of this offense, he will not be able to get the spiritual purpose. And then later we see that he even gives up his life, and then again he is born as Daksha. Another next life after some few manvantar, in Chakshusha manvantar, he is again born from Prachetas as Daksha. And there again, the same attitude is continued. In his Daksha's life, he had offended Lord Shiva, a great Vaishnava, and in life as Daksha, son of Prachetas, he will offend Narada Muni. Again, he is going to offend Narada Muni. So this attitude is continued. So we have to actually check this attitude. Be very careful when dealing with Vaishnavas. We should be extremely careful. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that following the etiquettes are the ornament of Vaishnavas. Like a person puts different types of ornaments, then he becomes more, he looks more nice. Similarly, when we are following etiquettes, then actually the Vaishnavas, it becomes more glorious. So we should be very, very careful not to break these etiquettes. So here we see that Daksha is not able to see the exalted position of Lord Shiva. When he entered inside the in that meeting, all the devas they have stood, except Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Lord Brahma did not stood because he is the father and he is Swambhu. He is the greatest of all the living entities. He is the chief of all the living entities. So he did not get up. was not required. So Daksha also did not mind. But when he turned and saw Lord Shiva is not standing up, he became very angry. Because he is thinking that he is my son-in-law. Yeah, he is my son-in-law. So that sort of familiarity is there. Out of familiarity, we see that he is now going to offend Lord Shiva. So when we also serving some devotees, especially very senior devotees, sannyasis, when we are very closely serving and we are staying very closely, then we see that we also develop this familiarity. Familiarity. And then we started seeing, oh, like they are one like us. And then we actually, when we are committing offense, we are not able to check what is there. So every day the same thing, he is also doing the same thing, I am also doing the same thing. They're not able to appreciate this exalted position. So here, Daksha also is seeing Lord Shiva as his son-in-law. He's not able to see that he is one of the three murtis. He is in charge of whole mode of ignorance. He is the Mahadev, chief of all the devas. Though he is appeared as a son of Brahma and he has married his daughter, but he is not subjected to him. He's thinking that because he has married my daughter, so he should be he's subordinate to me. But he is not subordinate to him. Especially in that meeting, he should not be expecting this. Among all, when all the devas, everybody's meeting is going on, why Lord Shiva has to get up? It was not required. But Lord Shiva is not worried about this. He did not got up because as soon as he sits down, always is meditating on the name of Lord Rama. And when he is just meditating the name of Lord Rama, he goes into trance. And he becomes oblivious to the external world. So when Daksha came, he did not notice, or he was in different world. He was not, and he did not got up. And naturally also he don't have to get up. And both of this is not observed by Daksha, who is a so intelligent person, so much intelligent person. When he is also a Brahmana, and all the devas, great, very, very great devas, they all stood to give him respect. So such an exalted personality. But he was victim of this familiarity, and out of envy started speaking blah blah blah. Then Lord Shiva still is in meditation only, but it was not tolerated by Lord Shiva's follower. Lord Shiva's follower, seeing this Daksha has crossed his limit, immediately they also started giving back. And then cursing and counter cursing started happening. And then situation became very worse and there's so much noise. Then Lord Shiva came into his consciousness, external consciousness, and he's saying, what is going on? Then he understood there's something wrong. Then he doesn't want to make it worse, and just he walked off without saying anything. He is not affected. He is not affected by all these things. And similarly, we see that when Daksha during Pracheta's life, when he is cursing Narad Muni is also very tolerant and very merciful. He's seeing that this person is out of ignorance. He's saying this, so he's tolerated, and out of mercy, he did not do anything to it. If Narad Muni or Lord Shiva wanted, then they would have actually finished Daksha there itself. But they out of mercy they did not do anything and simply left from the place. And we see that though Lord Shiva did not care for this, nevertheless Daksha had to go through the consequences. So we see when we are offending a Vaishnava, And a Vaishnava may not do anything and he will be just tolerant. But still, we will not get rid of the offense of offending a devotee. The offense will follow us. And so be very, very careful. So we should remember that a devotee is very, very dear to Lord. If we are offending the Lord, one can counteract the offense by chanting his names. Hari sthane aparade tare hari naam. If one suppose is worshipping deity, or we may do some offense, but when we come and sit down and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, out of mercy, the offense, by power of the holy name, the offense is countered. But when we are doing offense to our devotees, there is no prayaschita for this. No, one cannot counteract like this. Tare aparade nahi paritran. So there is no way. Only way is that we do offense to a devotee, one should approach to him, and if devotee forgives him, then he will be relieved. Otherwise, there is no way. We see in the life of Sanatana Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. One time, Rupa Goswami was meditating on pastimes of the Lord. There, in his meditation, he is seeing that Krishna is sitting on a branch of a tree, flower tree. And there Radharani, she is coming and she is not able to see Krishna. She is seeing there are flowers on the branch. So she goes nearby and Krishna also sees Srimati Radharani is coming. So he pushes the branch down. And then Radharani sees that flowers are hanging low. So she starts plucking the flower and she holds the branch. And when she holds the branch, then Krishna releases the force, and then Radharani gets stuck, starts hanging, gets now hanging in the air, and she is crying out for help. And seeing this pastime in his meditation, Rupa Goswami started laughing. So when he was laughing, suddenly one lame devotee, not able to walk properly, he was crossing from that side. And he suddenly noticed this, Rupa Goswami is laughing at me. So he felt offended. That see, by my own karma, but somehow I got this situation. But what is my fault? Why he is laughing at me? So he felt very bad and offended, and he immediately lowered his head and left from the place. Actually, he had come to meet Rupa Goswami to get some, to have some discussion, talk about Krishna Katha. But when he saw that he is not welcomed and on top of that he is made fun, that's what he noticed. So unknowingly he was offended by Rupa Goswami. And as soon as he felt like that, Rupa Goswami's Leela Dhyan was broken. The past time he was able to witness disappeared from his vision. And then Rupa Goswami is worried now. What happened? Now again that vision is not coming. That meditation is not happening. So he became very worried. Then he went and consulted to Sanatana Goswami. This is what happened. I was nicely meditating and suddenly that meditation is lost. What to do? What happened? Then Sanatana Goswami said, oh, it seems that unknowingly some Vaishnavas are offended by you. And Rupa Goswami is saying, no, I did not do anything. He said, no, by unknowingly you did not notice it, but something happened. So now what to do to get back the meditation, he asked. Then Sanatana Goswami said, okay, let's try. Then he said, call all the devotees in Vrindavan, in Brajadham, for a feast. When we call all the devotees, the person who is being offended may not come. And in this way, we'll be able to spot him. Then they call for big feast Now all the devotees came. Rupa Goswami called, everyone came. But this lamb devotee who felt offended thought, why I should go? He made fun on me on that day. So he does not like me. I will go and again make fun. I will not go. So he said he did not come. Then they counted everybody came, but that devotee not came. He alone not came, everybody came. Then Rupa Goswami went, very humbly went and asked him, no, sir, what happened? Everybody came, but you did not came. You are angry upon us. We have done some mistake. Please forgive us. Please let me know what happened. Then this Vaishnava was also heart melted. And he said, no, on another day you laughed at me. Without anything, you laughed at me. Then only Rupa Goswami understood what happened. Then he explained to him on the whole situation that no, I was like this. There was a Lila Smaran. I was remembering the pastimes of the Lord, and I did not see that you have come. I was so much absorbed, and this was happened, and I laughed. So when this Vaishnava also heard this, that's what happened to Srimati Radha, and he also laughed. And then they all came to proper understanding. And then Rupa Goswami's Lila Smaran again started. So this is actually, even unknowingly one is offending a Vaishnava. So this is the consequence that our devotional service is stopped. One should be very, very careful. And here we see that Daksha is just charging into that Vaishnava force. They're saying in English that where angels fear to tread, angels fears to move, fools tread there. There's something like that. Where all the devas, all great intelligent people are very, very careful. The fool will directly go and get inside and start doing everything. So here we see that Daksha is making himself in very curious condition. He's a very great personality. Daksha is not an ordinary personality. He is a son of Lord Brahma, and he is being respected by all the devas. But somehow or other, he is just envious of Lord Shiva, and out of anger, he is not able to control himself, and he is not understanding that now he is doing offense to a devotee. He is not able to see that great exalted position of Lord Shiva. So this is what happens when we are not able to appreciate the position of a devotee. Then we actually don't. We are not afraid of doing offense. The devotee's position we should see, because he's simply because he is serving Krishna, he is very dear to Krishna. Krishna is telling that my devotee is so much dear to me that I become controlled by them. I am not independent. People think that I am Atma Ram, I am self, I am Paramishwara, but I am even controlled. I am controlled by my devotees. You see that incident of Durvasa Muni offending Ambarish Maharaj. So when Durvasa Muni offending Ambarish Maharaj, immediately Sudarshan appeared there. And seeing the Sudarshan approaching towards himself, Durvasa Muni started running. And he went to everybody asking, please protect me from this Sudarshan. But everybody is telling, you please be merciful to me and leave this place. Now he is behind you only. In your, if I just, you are here for some more time, I will also, Jagannath Baldev Swadam Harani ki jai, Nitai Gaur Sundar ki jai. I'll also get inside this. I'll also burn. So they are saying, requesting him that to leave. Then he is going to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is actually sending him to go. Brahma is going. Brahma is saying, go. You go to Vishnu, who he only can protect because this is his weapon. Then he finally reaches to Vaikuntha. And then he paying obeisances and praying to Lord Vishnu that please save me from your weapon, Sudarshana. He is chasing me. Just behind me, he was always feeling that scorching heat on his backside. Please, please save me. That Lord Vishnu is telling that no, I am not controlled by. People think that I am Parameswara, supremely independent, but even I am controlled by my devotees. This Sudarshana is actually not in my control. It is in control of Ambarish Maharaj. If you really want to be saved, then immediately you should go. And if he decides, you can be relieved. This is thinking that Sudarshana is under my control. I am a self-control of devotees. So how he will be under my control? Then there Durvasa Muni understands. He immediately starts running back to Ambarish Maharaj. And there Ambarish Maharaj is waiting. He is fasting. Yes, actually he fasted for one whole year. And when breaking time was there, that moment only Durvasa Muni appeared. And he said, no, you wait, I will come and take bath and come. And while taking bath is taking so much time. So 1 year is fasting. And then he asked his ministers what to do. There he said that, okay, you should break the fast, and simultaneously you should not break the fast also, because Durvasa Muni is your guest and he's also very short-tempered. He will become angry. So they gave in between. That was their duty. So they gave him suggestion that you drink water, because if you're drinking water, because you are fasting without water, so fast is broken. But since you are drinking water, the fast is not broken. So both way, you are safe. So in between way they gave. Then he drank a little, sipped the water, not like drank, just sipped the water. And Durvasa Muni came to know by his meditation that he has, broken his fast before he has honored. Then he became very angry. And then he created this pious demon to kill Ambarish Maharaj. And then he was chased from Sudarshan by Sudarshana. In the same position, Ambarish Maharaj is waiting for him to return. And he took another 1 year to come back. 6 months he just went to Vaikuntha, while returning back again 6 months it took. So 1 year, Ambarish Maharaj, again he did not drink and ate anything. But just waiting and praying to Sudarshan that please don't harm me. Please don't do anything to him. Praying to Lord Vishnu, please don't do anything to him. Like this he was praying. This is the Vaishnava's nature. Para dukha dukhi. Seeing the miseries of others, they become more miserable. This is the Vaishnava's heart. Seeing that he is not seeing that just now he had tried to kill me. He is seeing that he is going to be killed by Sudarshan. So he becomes very distressed. Para dukha dukhi. And as he is just not eating anything, not drinking anything, just constantly praying to Lord Vishnu. So Durvasa Muni again come back after 1 year. And then as soon as he reaches there, he falls at feet of Ambarish Maharaj. And I said, what you are doing? What are you doing? Then he's saying, no, please protect me from the Sudarshan. Sudarshan is under your control. Lord has told me. Then he praying to Sudarshan, please, if I have done any merit, good activities, I have satisfied the Lord, I have done this punya, that punya, this please excuse. If you think is suitable, please excuse Durvasa Muni. Then only Sudarshan is actually reduced his changing. And he disappeared from there. So you see that how grave, severe offense is Vaishnava. We should be very, very careful, extremely careful. Because all the work we are doing will be spontaneously spoiled by doing this Vaishnava offense. Should be extremely careful. But we are seeing that in this example it is shown that Daksha is getting more and more strong in his actions, and then we see that what are the consequences. But in our life, we should be very, very careful not offending Vaishnava. If by mistake we offend a Vaishnava, then we should go and actually beg forgiveness, because That's the only way we can get rid of the offense, Vaishnava offense. If a Vaishnava is satisfied, is pleased, and from his heart he forgives us, then we can be saved. Otherwise, there is no other way. Mantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Patit Pawan Prabhupada ki jai.